Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Hawk's Sentry report for March 25th, 2013. I'm Hawk Arps of Jan Arps Traders Toolbox, and for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, I'd like to welcome you to springtime. For those of you on the underside of the globe, as we call it up here, welcome to autumn. Today I'd like to try something new for our blog and present it to you in video format. So if you have any feedback, I would sure appreciate it. You can just write your comments there at the bottom of our blog page, which you can find, of course, at www.janarps.com. So without any further ado, let's go right into some charts and see what the analysis looks like this week. Here we're looking at a chart of the S&P 500 index, and as we can all see, this is actually quite bullish. We all know this rally has been very strong, and we see that the triple trender is synchronized in a bullish formation, as is strong bullish sentiment in the Radar 3 Trend Strength Index. We also see quite a bit of buying pressure still going on, although over the last week you can see the buying has tapered off quite a bit. I still would not be surprised to see this pull back a little bit more, but if you look at the uptrend line, you can see here that this is basically the speed at which this rally is progressing. So a pullback to the uptrend line would simply bring us back in line with the nature of this rally. I'm not really looking for a confirmed downside move until we break through this break down below this uptrend line and see something bearish in the Radar 3 as well as the triple trender. So this is quite a bullish chart. You can also see we recently had a breakout of a bull flag here when it crossed through 1530, and we have a target according to the bull flag of 1617.84. Now we don't know how long it's going to take to reach that target, if it reaches it at all, but the technical analysis indicates that we're likely to see this move continue to the upside for a little while. However, let's take a look at the transportation index. A lot of people use the Dow Jones Transportation Index as a leading intermarket analysis for the rest of the market, and you can see that actually this market has been moving up even more quickly than the S&P has. So it has been a good leading indicator in that sense, but in this one we are already pulled back to the uptrend line, and we're seeing some relatively significant divergences in the Radar 1 Fear Greed indicator. In fact, we can see we're already seeing sellers stronger than buyers right here in the Radar 1 Fear Greed. We also see divergences in Radar 2. We see weakening trend strength here. So if we're going to use the transportation index as a precursor for the market in general, this is showing us signs that we may be finding the end of this rally, or at least some weakening in this rally. I would expect to see this to turn bearish once we see the transportation index break through the triple trender and show completely bearishness in the triple trender. At that point, I'm going to take a look again and watch my S&P index a little more closely with an eye towards the downside. So keep your eyes peeled on the transportation index here. So that's a quick look at the market's indexes. Let's look at some specific stocks. Now I like to look at bearish as well as bullish opportunities in stocks. So since we're relatively bullish on the market right now, let's take a look at Micron Technology. We had a beautiful pullback 23 buy signal here on Friday. You can see that pullback 23 is kind of hidden right behind the triple trender there. But everything's looking quite bullish. The triple trender is bullish. We're above both the downtrend line and the uptrend line. A nice breakaway gap on this pullback 23. So I see this as having some upside potential. Well, what about something to the downside? This is one I'm looking at this week, Hospira Incorporated. Quite a volatile stock, as you can see. In fact, look at this bar right here. It made new highs and new lows on the same bar. The next day we had a nice gap, which we have just filled at this kind of resistance level, although we're above that resistance level now. We are seeing a pullback 23 to the downside. However, your triple trender is bullish. Nonetheless, as far as finding a downward opportunity, a bearish opportunity, this week I'm looking at Hospira, primarily for this pullback 23 that fills this gap here. What about some of the more common commodity futures? Let's take a look at crude oil. And this is a commodity that I'm standing aside on right now, and I'll tell you why. I'm getting very mixed signals in the technical analysis of this one. We're seeing quite a lot of bearish indications. With the triple trender, the long-term trender is bearish. The radar 3 trend strength is bearish. So all in all, I'm more bearish than bullish. However, we do have a few bullish signals as well. We got a nice pullback divergence right here in the fear greed indicator, right on this low where we got the trend exhaustion 1 oversold signal. So this would give me some idea that we might see an upside move. However, this is such a volatile commodity, and it's much more bearish than bullish right now. I'm going to wait until I see the triple trender synchronize one way or the other. If it synchronizes bullishly, in other words, if it breaks through the long-term trender, I still need to see a little more confirmation in my trend strength index before I'm going to get in on the long side for any extended period of time. I'd be more tempted to trade it to the downside if it breaks through these two trenders, and especially if it gets below this low, then of course I would trade it down to this support level at 86.71. How about gold? A lot of people like to trade gold. In fact, it's one of my favorite ones to trade. It's a little more trending than crude oil is, which makes it a little safer to trade at times. And it is doing pretty much what we have said it was going to do, which is once it made this low here, it bounced off of support and bounced back up here to resistance at 16.18, where we find ourselves resting now. Of course, we recently got this trend exhaustion 1 overbought signal, so I'm looking for a bearish move back down to the support line around the 1560, 1550 area. We see the long-term trender and medium-term trender are bearish. We have a nice bearish pullback divergence here in the radar 1 fear greed indicator. The only thing that's a little iffy about bearish move right now is this radar 3 trend strength is showing bullish trend strength indication, but with all of this bearish trend, triple trender, I'm looking more for a move to the downside. At least, as I say, down to the support level where I expect it to bounce back and forth for a little while. Let's take a look at a currency pair too. I always like to keep all kinds of markets open. And this week I'm looking at a bullish move in the medium term. In other words, over the next several days or weeks in the US dollar Swedish Krona currency pair. And the reason I'm looking for a bullish move here, this is actually a beautiful early entry opportunity. As I see it, we found these lows at a long-term support level here. This support and resistance line tool has been going back since I don't know how long ago that support level was. Looks like way back in November of 2011. And we bounced off of that with a nice bullish divergence in radar 1, and started seeing some buying pressure. And once we bounced back off of it, now we see a breakout of the downtrend line. Even radar 1 fear greed is surpassed the previous high, which we set this alert line to that high, you can see. So we're having more buyers in this market than we had in the past. Radar 3 trend strength is showing bullish a bullish trend, and it's increasing bullish trend strength. So we have all three trenders have recently turned bullish. This is a nice bullish opportunity as far as I can tell. Now, of course, it has every possibility of pulling back to the downtrend line, pulling back into the triple trender before proceeding to the upside. But in the long run, my analysis shows that this is likely to move to the upside. So that's the way we're looking at some of our primary markets this week. Remember, this analysis is for purely educational purposes. We at Jan Arps Traders Toolbox are not recommending that you buy or sell anything. I'm merely showing you how to use some of the most sophisticated technical analysis tools in the universe. So, however you decide to trade, may the trend be with you.